I think the co-construction of the curriculum involving the practitioners in the process from the very start has been one of the hallmarks of the quality of the curriculum. It is something that in some situations can be quite complicated, sometimes can feel quite tortuous actually, but it's so important because what we're going to end up with is a curriculum that we own collectively. This is something that policymakers and indeed practitioners and learners will all have a stake in, and so it's important that they're all involved in the creation of it. Now, you're talking about refinement. I would hope that we're in a position where that co-construction will feed through, not just from the original conception of the curriculum, but right through to the finished product when we end up with the final curriculum. And so I don't think it's a case of the co-construction disappearing anytime soon. It's, in fact, you might say, even more important now as we reach the position of arriving at the final product. And I think the co-construction is just such a valuable part, we don't want to let go of it.
Teachers and stakeholders are absolutely crucial to the next phase of this development. This isn't a traditional development where experts in darkened rooms created a new curriculum. This is a curriculum for Wales, and it will take everyone in Wales to make the curriculum real. It's a bit like dropping a pebble in a pond, that just now, as more and more people become involved in the system, then they will help develop the system so that eventually what we will have is a new education system to which everyone in Wales has contributed.
One of the myths surrounding the new curriculum is that somehow or other subjects have disappeared. This is a curriculum which is all generic, it's all about skills, it's all about interdisciplinary learning. That is not the case. Subjects remain a very important part of the building blocks for effective learning inside the new curriculum, and subject specialists, the skills of subject specialists will be absolutely integral to the success of this programme. So it's the only real difference in terms of subjects is whereas in the past subjects defined the curriculum, we defined the curriculum in terms of the number of subjects that young people engage with in the course of their career. Subjects now serve the curriculum, serve broader purposes in the curriculum, but they remain absolutely integral to the nature of that curriculum. Change of any kind is something which can be quite daunting, and this is quite radical change in Wales. So I think one of the testaments to the way in which the teaching profession is thinking about this is the positivity which comes through in the consultation process. So the evidence we have is that teachers are not just reacting against things they didn't like in the old curriculum, but actually are positively looking forward to the kind of things that the new curriculum embodies. Quite naturally within that there will be anxieties about the implications for them, for the kind of learning they have to engage in, the way in which they have to rethink some of the things that they have done in order to serve their children as well as they possibly can. But my own belief is that as we move into this new context, that one of the important side effects of it all will be to create a much more satisfying job for teachers, where they are not simply implementing guidance and instructions from outside the school, but they are directly and intimately involved in helping to shape not just the nature of what they do in a classroom, but the purposes, of what it is that they're trying to achieve. And engaging with that purpose-led curriculum, I think, will create a much more satisfying job for the teachers of Wales.
This is not a curriculum that's done to people, it's a curriculum that's done with people. And I think for many of us who have been teachers, then it's getting back to what really matters as a teacher. That it is about improving the life chances of young people and making sure that the teaching and learning experiences of young people not only prepare them for the next steps in their life, but also give them a sense of real enjoyment and enthusiasm throughout their years in school.
And moving into new territory where things are maybe unfamiliar and uncomfortable is always going to be difficult. But this is a once-in-a-generation opportunity to transform the educational experience, not just for the learners, but for everybody involved in the learning community, for the staff, for the families, for the broader community. And so that's why I think that excitement should be the flavour of the day.